Hello and welcome to
Kids Paranormal
with me, Dad.
and me, Emma.
This week, what are we going to learn about, Emma?
Sirens.
Sirens. Do you remember who told us about sirens?
Melody. And she's sadly broken his arm.
She's broken her collarbone, so we hope you get well very soon, Melody, don't we, Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this week we're going to learn about sirens. Now what do you know about sirens, Emma?
They just sing in the water.
They sing in the water. Now, there's a bit of a difference. So this is what you might think of when you think of sirens. What is it?
A mermaid.
A mermaid. Now, sirens were often portrayed as beautiful women from the waist up, but on the bottom, originally, they had birds' bodies for their bottom half. So they would have birds' legs, and then what they would do is they would sing songs, beautiful songs. They'd sit on rocks when ships went past them, like la 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 la. That was Harry Potter, not the point. So they'll sing songs, and what do you think the sailors would do?
Try and get them.
But then if they're on spiky rocks, what would happen?
They couldn't catch them.
They would crash into the rocks.
Yeah.
Then do you know what the sirens would do?
Eat them.
They would eat them. We're high-fiving, people getting eaten. What's happening there? Yeah, the sirens would eat them. Now, as mythology progressed, so did sirens. And then sometimes they were seen with a fishtail for the bottom half. And that would go through Greek mythology, and they would be bad luck, and they would also feast on the body of sailors. But sometimes they wouldn't always eat them. Do you know what they'd do?
What?
Just let them die.
And it's just like Ariel.
Ariel.
When she just like sings.
Ariel does sing. Do you think she tries to eat the prince?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to make a different movie when Ariel comes out this next couple of years on Disney. Now, mermaids aren't just on Ariel. They aren't just lovely little girls trying to find their legs and marry a man. They've been spotted throughout history by famous people in history. Do you want to guess of someone who spotted a mermaid? No?
No, I
Okay.
don't know.
Blackbeard, the pirate.
Pirate.
A pirate, the most famous pirate of all, Blackbeard, not Captain Jack Sparrow. If you're at home saying Captain Jack Sparrow, go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Not Captain Jack Sparrow, Blackbeard. Now, he had a big map, and he would have an area that he wouldn't go to because he was scared the mermaids would lure him and his crew towards the rocks and then die. That was a very, very blunt way of putting it. Just die. But they would lure them towards the rocks. So Blackbeard, and he would stay away from the waters. And do you know what he called it? Enchanted waters. Because in them areas, Blackbeard believed the mermaids would get to them. So that's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was a famous explorer called Christopher Columbus. Have you heard of him?
No.
He discovered America, and he was said to have spotted not one, not two, but three mermaids, or sirens if you would, off the coast of Hispaniola, which I believe is just Spain, in 1493. And he said, unlike the folklore, these creatures weren't beautiful, they weren't pretty, they were horrible hags trying to get him and his crew towards the rocks. So they sinked. Correct. So they sinked. English isn't a strong point. But historians debunked it. They say Christopher Columbus did not see mermaids. He'd heard of mermaids from Blackbeard's era and Greek mythology and different things. They thought he'd just seen some manatee. Do you know what manatee are?
No.
I was going to make a mam joke there. Manatees are big sea creatures, a bit like hippopotamuses. Can you say hippopotamus?
A
Hippopotamus. Can you say hippopotamus? Say it again.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. Speak louder so the camera can hear you, silly.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotami. That's a Big Daddy reference if anyone's wondering. So nobody knows what Christopher Columbus actually saw. But, and this is one of my favourite stories. Are you ready?
Yeah.
In 1943, the local villagers of Kai Islands in Indonesia is very, very far away, they had creatures they were familiar with. They called it the orang ikan, translated as manfish. So not a mermaid, not a siren, manfish. What would you do if you seen a manfish? Run or swim.
Or quickly just like set the boat off and then just swim.
Sure. That's swimming. What's that? You dancing in the water? Silly goose. Right, back to the story because this is a good story. You threw me there. We'll chat at the end of it. So during World War II in 1943, that's quite recent. I believe your granddad John was born by then. If he wasn't,
unicorns. You said that.
No, there wasn't unicorns. I'm just kidding. Japanese soldiers stationed on that island learned they were no myth. They said they were about 4'10". They had spikes on their back. They had spikes on their shoulders, and they had several experiences with them. One even swam in front of them.
Like this?
I don't know. Did he swim like a dog?
No.
He swam in front of them. He jumped up on the rock. He turned. He looked at them. He had the mouth of a carp. He had salmon-coloured skin, and he let out a weird gurgle. He went, and the soldiers pooed themselves. So they done what soldiers done. They got their guns out. They shot at the merman, at the fishman, but they missed him. And the fishman got in the water and swam away. Now, there was a sergeant at the time called Mr. Taharo, and he didn't believe them.
Mr. Towel.
T-A-R-O. Taro.
Towel.
Like tarot cards without the T at the end.
Well,
that you don't pronounce.
Maybe that's a bad word?
Nope, it's not a bad word. The sergeant named Mr. Taro didn't believe them. Didn't believe that he'd seen the mermaids. Would you have believed them if they'd seen mermaids?
Yeah.
You'd have believed them. Now, Mr. Taro said to the villagers, go, and if you see a mermaid, dead or alive, you get me. And it didn't take long. The villagers went and got Mr. Taro, and they took him over, and they showed him a merman, and he couldn't believe it. He got home after the war, and he demanded that his science office of Japan investigate the merman, or the orang ikan, but they refused. They wouldn't do it.
But it's just like Barbies, because I seen someone it was like a show of Barbies, and there was a merman.
Was a merman and Barbie, was it?
Yeah.
Would that merman have ate you and killed you?
No.
Probably not. So, we're coming more up to date. In 1967, so your grandma was alive in 1967, a ferry full of tourists on Main Island in Canada, Canada, they were astonished. They spotted a blonde mermaid, you used to be blonde, a blonde mermaid on the beach, and they saw this marine creature seem to be eating raw salmon. While the waves splashed upon her. So imagine you're on a boat, you look out, and that mermaid's sitting there going with raw salmon. Would you be scared?
Yeah.
But nobody had a camera back then and nobody could photograph it, but several
I could swim.
independent witnesses seen it. For full disclosure, Emma still can't swim yet, but she is doing very well in her swimming lessons. Now the most recent one brings us right up to date. Perfect timing. It's from 2012.
2012, that's like 50 years ago.
10 years ago. Little mathematician Stephen Hawkins over here. In Zimbabwe, dam workers were trying to install a pump for local agriculture, and they sent a team of divers down to fit the pump, but the divers come up and said, no, we're not going back down there. There's a mermaid down there. There's a mermaid going to get us. So the bosses went, it's just local myth, local legend, local lore. We'll get someone in from outside of Zimbabwe. We'll send some other workers down to fit the pump. The other workers went down, and guess what? They saw the mermaid too.
So that means the one who's lying.
They weren't lying. They were telling the truth.
So then that means the one who was saying that's not real should go down there and check.
You're right. They should have went down, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
But they went down and they wouldn't come out. Then they sent some more people down who also said there was a mermaid down there, and to this day, 10 years later, they still haven't finished that dam. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, or maybe maybe all of them should show him and then pop him in the water and show him.
That sounds like you're doing the witch trials from last week and you're just trying to drown him. Do you believe in mermaids? Kadunk. Do you believe in mermaids? Kadunk. You crazy daisy. So that's it with our mermaid stories and siren stories this week. Thank you, Melody, for that. We very much appreciated it. Did you enjoy learning about sirens?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think a siren looks like in your head? How would you picture one?
It would be with black spikes in the hair and
black spikes in the hair
and a black birdie tail.
A black tail. Ooh.
And then some black.
You can't see your mermaid. She's playing with her mermaid. She's trying. So she thinks it would have black spikes in its hair, black spikes up its back, and a black tail. Ah! That's it from us this week.
Yeah, and they could have a black bra.
A black bra
with spikes on it. So when someone tries to touch that mermaid tail or mermaid stuff, then they'll just get spiked.
Okay, so you're adamant that they've got some sort of protection against us predators, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Is there anything you'd like to say to your audience this week?
Like and subscribe.
I mean, I would have went, but thank you very much for tuning in for our 4th show.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you've done 4 already?
Yeah.
It does, okay. Thank you so much. As Emma always says, please give it a thumbs up, like and
subscribe.
And thank you so much for watching. Like I say, we are trying to get slightly better with our setup. But genuinely, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my daughter's YouTube. You really appreciate it, don't you?
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ah.